some of what they said about Muhammad and Islam. But throughout history, some of the world's most brilliant and respected minds, philosophers, writers, historians, and leaders, looked at Islam not with fear, but with fascination, not with blame, but with deep respect. Today, we revisit some of their words from great thinkers who saw in Islam a powerful moral force, and in Prophet Muhammad, a man of profound character, vision, and humanity. Islam is not simply a religion, it is a comprehensive code of life. It governs worship, ethics, social justice, family life, charity, even how we eat and sleep. This order impressed many thinkers from different parts of the world. Mahatma Gandhi, the Indian leader, said, "I wanted to know the best of the life of one who holds today an undisputed sway over the hearts of millions. I became more than ever convinced that it was not the sword that won a place for Islam in those days, but the rigid simplicity, the utter self-effacement of the Prophet, the scrupulous regard for his pledges, his intense devotion to his friends and followers, and his absolute trust in God and in his own mission." Gandhi recognized the inner discipline of Islam, not a system of coercion, but of deep internal commitment. Edward Gibbon, the renowned British historian, noted in The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, "The Mahometan law is a religion which, in its original purity, proclaimed the unity of God and the responsibility of man, and promised the rewards of the future life to the observance of morality and piety." Gibbon admired Islam's ethical foundation, clear, rational, and rooted in personal accountability. Dr. William Draper, in his History of the Intellectual Development of Europe, wrote, 4 years after the death of Justinian, AD 569, was born at Mecca, in Arabia, the man who, of all men, has exercised the greatest influence on the human race. Why did he say that? Because Muhammad, peace be upon him, inspired not only spiritual devotion, but a complete ethical system, fostering learning, justice, hygiene, charity, and discipline. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, yet many of those who studied his life deeply came away with admiration. Thomas Carlyle, Scottish philosopher and historian, said in his famous lecture, Heroes and Hero Worship, how one man single-handedly could weld warring tribes and wandering Bedouins into a most powerful and civilized nation in less than 2 decades. A silent great soul, one of those who cannot but be earnest, a great soul, prophet indeed. He called him a hero, not of war, but of sincerity, vision, and moral leadership. Alphonse de Lamartine, the French poet and historian, declared, "If greatness of purpose, smallness of means, and astounding results are the 3 criteria of human genius, who could dare compare any great man in modern history with Muhammad?" He continued, "Philosopher, orator, apostle, legislator, warrior, conqueror of ideas, the founder of 20 terrestrial empires and of 1 spiritual empire. That is Muhammad." This is not religious praise. This is recognition of profound historical influence. George Bernard Shaw, the Irish playwright and Nobel laureate, said, "I have always held the religion of Muhammad in high estimation because of its wonderful vitality. I believe that if a man like him were to assume to be in the modern world, he would succeed in solving its problems in a way that would bring it the much-needed peace and happiness." He even called Islam the religion of the future. These are not Muslims speaking. These are voices from the West, who looked at Muhammad not through politics or polemics, but through history and intellect. Islam and society. Islam's concern was never just the hereafter. It cared for this life, health, equity, dignity. The role of women, the abolition of slavery, the rights of orphans, and the emphasis on education, all these were advanced by Islam in the 7th century. Washington Irving, American historian, wrote, "His military triumphs awakened no pride or vainglory, as they would have done in the breast of a less magnanimous man. In the time of his greatest power, he maintained the same simplicity of manners and appearance as in the days of his adversity. Even in success, Muhammad remained humble." Michael Hart, in his famous book The 100, a ranking of the world's most influential persons, wrote, "My choice of Muhammad to lead the list of the world's most influential persons may surprise some readers, but he was the only man in history who was supremely successful on both the religious and secular levels. Not only did he inspire faith, he shaped a civilization."